There's not a day that goes by that she doesn't spend it thinking about her ex-husband, Tim, and what she would like to do is beg him to give her a second chance. I'm not so sure if his new wife is going to feel good about it. Lori, talk to me about your marriage.
It was a good marriage, all in all. He wasn't just my husband, he was my best friend. When he wasn't at work, we did everything together. I mean, 24/7. And I miss that. I mean, we had our rough times, just like anyone else, but there was more good to it than anything.
You say that he was a wonderful man.
Yes.
But I know that what happened was that you had an affair.
Yes, I did.
But there's more than the oh from the audience. What happened?
I had had a real rough year before all this leading up to the affair. My mother had taken a fall. She was paralyzed from the waist down from September until February. So I lived my life around the clock, traveling, 80 miles to Morgantown Hospital, not knowing from one minute to the next whether the next phone call they'd be telling me she's gone. When she finally passed away, he was there for me. I mean, the whole time, physically. But emotionally, I felt detached. Like he didn't care anymore. And I felt that maybe he had fallen out of love with me. I lost my self-esteem.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep.
And when the opportunity presented itself, I had never dreamed that it would end up an affair. But this man started showing me some attention, and it made me feel good.
Where'd you meet the man?
I'd known him for years. He was my husband's best friend's uncle.
What was your reaction to her affair, to her pregnancy?
Well, I was just shocked and devastated, and I mean, I tried to make this marriage work for my son, and I tried hard, and everything that I had done didn't mean a thing.
Tim, how has she reacted since you left her?
What?
How has she reacted since you've left her?
Oh, she's done all kinds of good things, like bust out my mom's window and key my car and write notes all over my car and calling and harassing us.
I don't call his
Just
house.
yesterday, she called where I work and
I
said
didn't
her name
call.
was Dina.
I didn't call at all.
My wife's name.
No, I didn't.
And to leave a message.
No, I
Lori,
didn't.
you called me like 70
I didn't
times
call
yesterday.
you
I
at
have
all
a caller
yesterday.
ID.
Well, my number's
and
not
you
on it.
did.
I called
At
once.
20 till 7
Once.
yesterday
your friend's
morning,
number's
you did
on it.
call.
No, I did not
and asked
call.
all kinds of questions. You called
No.
me a fat ass. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did. You're lying.
Even though
You
it's
did.
true, I didn't call and tell you that.
Well, maybe it is true. I can change my weight, but you can't change your looks. An SOB, and he is 3 months old.
Did I now?
Yes, you did, and I've had it. I have had it. I do not bother you. You better start letting Tim see his son.
My son doesn't
All
want to
you
see
want
him.
is the money. That's all you want.
What, $50 a month? All I
going
get?
over there.
$300,
The state
and we
takes the
do
rest
have.
of it.
Yeah,
Well,
because
get off
get a
assistance
job.
and get a job.
Anything to have a second chance with a woman named Nanette, who he calls the love of his life. How did you meet Nanette?
I met Nanette. She was a waitress, and once I met her, she just became my everything. I devoted my whole life to Nanette. At the time, she was struggling, and I was doing all right. I had a beautiful home and a little bit of money, and I tried to give Nanette a better life, and I did.
Now, I think people should know that Tracy was quite the catch. Where are you from, Trace?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Okay, and he had a lot of girlfriends.
Yes.
And Nanette was a waitress, and he met her. And can you describe the courtship?
I chased Nanette real hard, and she wouldn't really have anything to do with me. And finally, I convinced her to go on a gambling ship with me, and we went gambling. And the thing about Nanette is we were friends long before we were anything else. And that's mainly where my pain comes from, is I've lost my best friend.
I know. She called you her Prince Charming, and you went overboard in spending money, young man.
Yes, I did.
What kind of tips?
$100 tips.
What kind of work?
Now wait. At the time,
For a waitress, that's pretty good.
at the time, she was working. She was doing the best she could, and she needed some money to get a divorce.
But we're not putting her down for that.
You know, and that's why I did
Okay, you're going to defend her no matter what I say. You
Yes.
bought her a wardrobe?
it. Yes. When we were dating, because we were doing laundry, and I was hanging up her clothes, and she only had 3 dresses, and she was like,
And his name is Patrick,
Patrick?
and he is in a secluded area right now so that you can tell us what's going on. You should also know Patrick says he is desperate to get her back, and we're going to find out why in a few moments. Cynthia, you said he saved you after you broke up with your husband.
Yes, ma'am.
So saved you means he's the good guy.
Right. When we first got together, my ex-husband had Patrick come into my life. He was there to help me. He toted me places. He took care of my children, helped run my household and everything. He was the knight in shining armor, the best thing that had, come around.
And
I got tired of him fooling around with his wife. He's
wait, the knight who saved you from the
knight
guy who beat you up also beat you up?
right. Since then, he has moved across the street from me to watch me. He sits in my woods and stalks me. If I am seeing someone now, and we are engaged, so he rides by and squalls tires in front of the yard. He's threatened to blow up my house. He's told my 8-year-old son that he's going to call DFAX and have my kids taken from me so they can live with him. None of them belong to him.
He also offered you $1,000 to sleep with him. Are you worried that he is dangerous?
Yes. I have tried to go as far as my children love this man. They call him Pawpaw. I have gone as far as letting him see my children because I'm not afraid of him hurting them. But then he uses that to come by, and then I can't get rid of him. I've tried to be friends with him. I've tried everything possible to show him, look, if we can't have a relationship.
What's the new boyfriend say?
The new boyfriend says he's about ready to kill him.
He is lost. Is that right? We tried to find him. What does he do for a living?
He now drives long-haul truck.
So that's why we couldn't find him? He's
That's
in some
exactly right.
town. Now, why is it you would like to see him?
I just basically would like to see the man that I fell in love with 8 years ago. I mean, the man that was my life.
Does he want not to see you?
For the things that happened in the past, he has asked me for the divorce.
Okay. Does he know that you're very ill?
Yes,
He does. Okay. What is should you not be concentrating on your health?
yes and no, because I feel that 8 years ago when
Important questions. Is it ever possible to rekindle a flame when it's gone out?
It takes 2 people.
That's right.
You can't do it with one person alone. And anything less than that, if somebody says, oh, I want you, I love you, I need you, and the other person says, later for you, it's over.
right.
You can't have love from that.
What happened to Lori?
Lori needed to get some air. Lori understands now, and thanks to the audience. Thanks to the audience. Lori understands now. She really did make a mistake. And I said to her,